Welcome, and if you're still watching this symposium, I want to thank you for watching the Perfect Second Stringers complete the Crisis Mises Songs to Inspire Scientific Transparency concert last December 2019. I wish we could have been performing for you live. This talk is just a brief summary about the recording process and suggestions on what I'd like to see you do with the music. So first, a little bit about me. I am a professor of psychology at PLU. Here are a number of other areas where I have served the organization of psychology and engaged in open science. And if you didn't know it, I am the WPA president-elect. That will begin at the end of this conference in a couple days. Music has been a lifelong passion for me, just to let you know where this is all coming from. And I'm a big fan of concept albums. Yes, Jethro Tull, Iron Maiden, Metallica. I also like old classical music where they have long pieces that are connected with multiple movements. And I started writing academic songs back in the early 2000s. Back then I was by myself. I wrote and recorded as a band called Negate. You can't get much of that online. You can find that. But I recorded later and better with a band called My Name Ain't Skip. So you can hear some of those songs online now under that name, My Name Ain't Skip. So this song is about confirmation bias. I have another song about social ostracism. And of course, I do have some songs that are completely secular. I also recorded with them an album, a concept album, where every 12 songs, one song per month, every song was connected to each other, called The Year. And I'm a big fan of concept albums, and that was a real moving experience for me. That ended, I finished writing the last song in 2009, recorded that album in 2010, but the recording process in the band ended badly for me, and I won't tell that story here. But I did reform, but a different band with my children as co-musicians, and then the lead guitarist died. Too many guitarists died on me, so I just took a break from music when the kids got too old to play with their dad. After 2009, I just couldn't write. I tried to write new songs and nothing happened. And by the summer 2016, I wasn't doing any music whatsoever. And then August, September 2016, Replication Crisis song just wrote itself in my head. I was telling some people about that at the APS conference the next spring. E.J. Wagemakers was bemused. He's someone that I respect a lot. And so I decided to keep going. And I made a public commitment at both the APS and the ICPS conference to write a concept album about open science. I followed guidelines as I did with the prior concept album. I wrote each song in order, except for two exceptions that were written back in the day but fit in. Each song was intended to be better in terms of complexity and interest than the one before in order to help me remind me to play. So I would pick something that I didn't do well and try to work on that in a given song. Songs then also progressed in content and are intended to synchronize with a methods course. Finally, I tried to make the songs interesting enough that even lay people could play them. I have performed them a couple times to a lay audience, and sometimes they're amused, sometimes they're confused. So converting these songs from my brain to imaginary music was always fun and engaging, and something that I've enjoyed quite a bit in my life. Converting them from imaginary music to chords to strum, also promising, invigorating, and challenging. Sometimes you hear something in your head and you just can't make that happen here. Taking those songs and performing them over and over and over again so that I finally have them memorized and I knew what I was going to do, that did help me relearn guitar. It was great practice, and yet it showed me frustration and limits. I still can't perform a guitar solo no matter what. There's still certain chords that cause me problems, and my strumming hand just doesn't work the way I would like it to. Converting those songs and chords into sheet music still hasn't happened. Still want to make that happen, but it just hasn't. I have taught these songs to bands. That's also promising, invigorating, sometimes challenging. They don't always want to do what you want them to do. None of these people were reading sheet music, so that wasn't the challenge, but getting them to know what you want even when you show them what you want, isn't always easy. I did do a few performances solo. I did a couple performances with my cover band that I'm still with, and I did the live performance that you saw with an electric group, Perfect Second Stringers, and then some classroom performances with as a duo act. And here are some pictures from those performances and my various configurations. Recording those songs has also been elusive. The pandemic interfered with my ability to get people in the studio. I really miss just playing trumpet and singing on these. If I didn't have to be the guitarist, we would have recorded it quicker. Vocation and desire don't always coincide. I am a college professor. That's got to come first. I am intending and hoping that these can be played during a class, that you can discuss the lyrics with the class as they relate to open science, that you can use the songs to help frame class projects as scientifically transparent. And then, because the songs are dense and complex, invite students to learn more quickly about the content by going out and seeking out more information about what is discussed in the songs. That's classroom work. I think for us, I would like for a bunch of you to learn these songs and for us to bring an open mic back to the conference, and then for the first hour, perform whoever we got, perform the Crisis Mises album, and then, like the old days at SBSB, break it into various groups and do open mic for the rest of the night, dance the night away. I have played these songs in class, and I did talk about open science as it was related, but it was in a class where I was yoking that class with somebody else's, so I could not require my students to do as much, so it was not connected to the course. The pandemic interfered this fall. I am having them watch the videos and write self-reflection essays, but as I'm sure you're experiencing, things need to give, and something that is essentially a bonus activity needed to get pulled out. There's a forthcoming book due to the publisher in January, if I can finish it, that would allow you to help your students more deeply understand this material without necessarily listening to songs. I believe that the possibilities outnumber the limitations, even if you are frustrated by my musical ability. I think that you should then go ahead and do them better. So the songs, the Crisis Mises songs to inspire scientific transparency, benefited my musical resurgence. I was able to relearn guitar and relearn bass. I did not get to the trumpet bit, which is I still would like to see happen. It augmented my own open science teaching tools. I hope that my videos would help augment yours, and they are available for your fun or use. I'd like to thank my fellow musicians, Frank Murphy and Jeff Cason, for the Band of Wax, who learned these songs as a great act of generosity. And then I'd like to thank Amber Madison, Dr. Andrew Franks, and Jeff Cason for performing as the Perfect Second Stringers on the show that you saw as part of this symposium. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference, and I hope someday to perform some of these songs with you. Bye.